Tonight on That's Dark. Imagine it's the 70s and you're on the dating game show and you just met the man of your dreams. But little did you know, this charming man is a serial killer.
Follow us as we uncover how one woman's intuition saved her from a date with darkness, and how a brave teen's escape finally exposed his deadly double life. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to That's Dark, where we talk about, surprise, things that are dark.
And scary. And
Spooky.
murder.
And conspiracy.
Murder.
In New York City.
New York City. I ran the 5K.
Yay.
But it was such a debacle at first because it was Halloween the night before and I wanted to take the boys trick-or-treating. So we did all of that. By the time I got to the hotel, it was 11 o'clock at night in Orlando.
Ooh.
I hit that bed and I was out, but I was up at 3:30 in the morning getting myself together. And I didn't have a complicated costume. I just did Wendy, as you saw. But I was so proud of myself.
I am too.
Like,
it's amazing.
I ran most of the way. I was just like, hell yeah. You guys,
hell yes.
It's been a journey. So I've been on this health journey, and the fact that that was my first goal.
Yep.
So I've set my second goal, which is 10K.
Yes.
I'm probably not going to do springtime because I was told it's very, very hot and horrible, and it's a whole nother beast. And with my MS,
not a good idea.
But I think I'm going to sign up
Keep it
for
to the winter.
Ben wants to do one. With us. So I'm going to sign up us for the 5K and 10K when it opens up in February for
the
next time. Yes, I'm excited.
That's going to be so fun. Yeah. I definitely want to do another one, and I think when I do it again, I'm going to stay the night at Disney.
I'm going to say the weekend, we decided.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm going to make it the weekend because let me tell you, you wouldn't think, because I do over an hour in the gym. I can clear an hour on the treadmill, right? It is a different thing when you have humidity involved and you're out there and you're like, it's just different. Like the tired that I felt after was, and plus, let's talk about the mile walk to get to where you got to go, you know? And then after you ran and then you have the mile walk back to your car.
It's humbling.
It was
a humbling moment.
Not even 8 o'clock and I was at almost 16,000 steps.
Oh,
yeah. And I was just like, it was a different kind of tired. I literally got home, took a hot bath, put my pajamas on, and I did not get out of bed the whole day. I was like, no, I'm good. And I actually didn't get out of bed the whole next day either. I really just did nothing.
I don't blame you.
But I did go to the gym on Sunday, and now I'm back at it. Yay. But yeah, it was really fun. It was an experience I didn't expect, and it was really fun. And I almost didn't do it because I was like, this is really overwhelming, and then I did it.
It's so fun.
I won't do Princess Week. I heard that one's really insane. So
I think that's the one I did. Was it? Yeah, it was, because they had like Mulan and like all that shit. Yeah,
I heard it's insane. That's what I heard. And I heard that's where the meanies come out. So
I didn't encounter any meanies, so that was good.
I didn't have any meanies.
I was good. I'm
nice.
glad about that. The balloon ladies scared me.
I don't blame you.
They scared me.
That's why I'm training, because I want to be able to.
That's honestly an iconic job.
Yeah,
to be a balloon lady.
People away.
So cool. But yeah, I definitely want to do one again because it was very much fun.
Maybe I should tell you when it opens and you can sign up to the 10K or whatever.
Oh,
5K.
hell yes.
Yeah.
I'll do a 10K for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So then after, so after that, I'm going to be like, okay, I want those medals. It was so fun having that medal. And I'm like, then I'm going to be like, okay, I want to do a half marathon. So I didn't think I'd want to be a runner. And
I will do the half marathon again with you. I'll do that.
Okay.
For sure.
I don't know.
I'm going to train this time.
That's what I'm doing. So I'm back to training, and I'm going to train for running.
Yes.
So I trained for walking myself fast, and then near the end I started running. Now I'm training for running.
Yes.
So
love it.
It was fun. Yeah. Halloween is over. Christmas is officially up in my house.
Yep.
Beautiful. Love it. The warm cozies. We're having a lovely cup of tea.
Tea and what is this?
Oh, these are peppermint.
White chocolate peppermint pretzels.
They're amazing.
I'm normally not a white chocolate girl, but that's good.
I know. When I saw the peppermint,
real good.
I'm gonna eat one before I do my song.
You do that. Yes. I am also, because they are delish.
I'm like,
I cut my hair.
Oh my god!
I finally
It's so pretty though.
Finally
It's
did
so
it.
cute.
I love it.
And natural color is the best.
I'm having like sometimes I look in the mirror. I'm like
I've done that.
but I like it.
I've done that myself, where I'm so used to seeing myself one way that I'm like, oh.
Like now I have to get a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah.
Because nothing looks good with what my color is now, at all. I was not prepared for that, so I ordered some clothes from Shein.
Yay! I was gonna say, not really a bad thing.
No, it's fun. I'm also... I think I found my style finally, because I don't think I've had, like, a style. As you know, I'm entering my 30s next month. So now I found my style.
Dude, our birthday's next month.
Oh my god, it is.
No. I still love my birthday, no matter how old I get, but I'm just like, nard. Anyways, what's your style? Tell me your style, and we can get started.
So I was listening to how you should dress based off of your Venus sign. Mine's Scorpio. So I look good in more, like, I guess different types of, like, it can be, like, dark, like, blacks, maroons, emerald, like, oh my god, emerald on me? Love it. So, like, that kind of stuff, but then also, like, leathery type stuff, which I'm not a huge leather fan. But maybe, like, if I find something, maybe. But, like, corduroy, like a corduroy skirt.
Love corduroy.
I am a, not legging, I love leggings, but a tights kind of girl with, like, dresses, stuff like that. So, I ordered some things to start my style.
I'll have to look at mine is. I didn't know about that with the Venus. I think my Venus is still a Sagittarius.
I think it is. So we have to like look up what is
I want to know what I should be. Yeah. I always switch my style up though, but I'm getting now like again where everything's getting too big on me again. So I need to reorder
a new style.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Enough chit chat.
Enough chit chat. Chitty chit chat. Chitty titty.
Chitty titty chit chat.
Chitty titty.
Can you tell we're nervous today?
Chitty titty bang bang.
For this election to be done?
Yeah, seriously.
We're ready?
And we probably won't even know till 10 p.m.
No, we probably won't know till like 3 a.m. again.
Fuck.
Last election, was it last? No, that was the first. I don't remember.
All right, let's get into this asshole, shall we?
Yes.
And listen, there's something super unsettling about this man, and I covered the toy box killer.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Should I redo that? I don't want to redo that.
I don't think I want to.
That one was hard for me. It put me in a bad mind frame.
I do think maybe we could because our audio sounded like such garbage before. Maybe it wouldn't hurt because it was good.
It was good, but man, I'm gonna have to like prepare myself because he really put me in a bad mind space. But this guy, there's something about him that just really freaks me out. Yeah. We watched Woman of the Hour, which was excellent.
So good.
Even the actor who played him freaks me out. Liz literally pulled up him with short hair to make me feel better, and it didn't. I was still like, no! Like, I just needed
That's how you know a good actor.
Yeah. Like, I still was just like, turn him off! Like, I can't. Like, when I drove home from your house last week,
it's creepy.
I thought he was going to be in my backseat and kill me. And I don't usually get affected that way. I mean, I see spirits, so I usually am used to that, but I'm like...
I think it's his, like, he just captured the creepy aura of him so perfectly.
But then when I saw the actual videos of this man, it was worse. There's something even more unsettling about this man.
He's like Ted Bundy on crack, I feel like.
It is.
His aura.
It's like something, Eve. Like, no, I don't even... Okay, so I'm going to get into him, guys. His name is Rodney James Alcala. Is it Alcala?
Alcala.
Was born on August 23rd, 1943 in San Antonio, Texas, to parents Raul and Ana Maria what was it again? Alcala. His family life was unstable from the beginning. When Alcala was about 8 years old, his father abruptly abandoned the family, leaving his mother to raise Rodney and his siblings alone. Shortly after, his mother decided to move to Los Angeles. She decided to move in there. California, if y'all don't know where Los Angeles is.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Seeking better opportunities and stability is what she was looking for. This early abandonment and relocation seems to have deeply affected, what is it again?
Alcala.
Alcala. God, guys, sorry. Moving from
I don't know why,
Texas-
if this helped me, it was from the way the game show guy said it. He's like, Alcala.
Okay. Alcala. Moving from Texas to California may not sound like much, but for a young child who had already experienced the trauma of his father's departure, it represented yet another rupture in his sense of security. The move also placed a significant emotional and financial burden on his mother, who had to work to support the family. Alcala, did I say it right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Alcala's childhood is described as relatively normal by some sources. In fact, most sources is relatively normal, but there were already signs of trouble. Although he displayed a very high IQ, his IQ was 160.
Why is that so common?
I don't know. There were concerns with his social behavior. Those who knew him during this time noted his tendency towards introversion and occasional erratic behavior, suggesting an underlying psychological issue that went very largely unaddressed. So, his mom, just trying to do the best she could. She didn't abuse them. She didn't do any of that. She was just a single mom his dad abandoned them and left them, and she was just trying to do the best she could. Everything I read about his childhood didn't tell me that this man that it was
warranted, I guess.
Nurture. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So everything in this told me that this way, maybe that's where the unsettlement comes from, because I think this is very nature.
It's just deep rooted in him.
Deep rooted nature. I don't think it was nurtured. Lots of people have their dad abandon them.
Me.
Exactly.
He was 8 when his dad abandoned. Okay.
Which is hard.
Yeah.
Araya was 8.
I was 6.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not
It's hard,
fun.
but I just don't view that as a reason, you know?
Not that there's a reason ever. But some things make a little more sense than others.
Like what Ed Gein went through, no offense, but like it's crappy that what he did and he's awful, but when you actually hear his case, you're like, he was so mentally abused that he was so tortured mentally that I don't know if there was any way he could. For the fact that he just started killing women so he had better skin to work with. Like, he just was not okay because he was so mentally abused, you know? But
this is it's another thing it makes me think of, another correlation to Ted Bundy, where remember when he was like 3, he was standing over his aunt
with the knives,
just smiling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's just something in them.
Yeah. Alcala's intelligence was apparent from an early age. He excelled in academics and was said to be a highly gifted student. However, his high IQ was paired with signs, again, of psychological instability. He struggled to connect with others socially, often displaying behavior that made him stand out different from his peers. This combination of intelligence and social difficulty is sometimes seen in individuals who later develop antisocial tendencies, as it can create a sense of superiority and detachment from others. So he was feeling like he was better than everybody. Some psychologists have speculated that Alcala's high IQ may have contributed to a sense of isolation, as he likely struggled to relate to other children. Although intelligence itself does not predict violent behavior, Alcala's early experiences of instability, abandonment, and emotional distance may have exasperated a pre-existing tendency towards detachment. The detachment, paired with his ability to manipulate and charm people, skills he later honed to lure, as we will find out, his victims, might have laid the groundwork for his future crimes. So basically everything I read was that he was just a loner. The children found him weird, literally. Everyone who had accounts of him found him to be odd, detached, and he did act like he was better than everybody. So in 1961, at age 17, Alcala joined the United States Army. This was perhaps an attempt to escape his home environment and find direction in his life. I don't think so. I think he was just finding money. However, the structure and discipline of military life didn't provide the stability Alcala may have hoped for. Instead, it brought his underlying psychological issues to the forefront. Alcala's time in the army was short-lived and turbulent.
Let me guess. He didn't do well with the conformity or having people tell him what to do.
No. In fact, in 1964, he went AWOL, absent without leave, after experiencing what had been described as a severe psychological breakdown, which I think he just didn't like being told what to do, like you said.
Yep.
I think he was like, no. You know, because he's better.
Because he knows better.
Yep.
He's smarter than everybody else. He knows better.
Following this episode, he was apprehended and brought in for psychiatric evaluation, where he was diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder.
Oh, fuck, there we go.
Yep.
I was thinking it.
This diagnosis suggests that Alcala displayed traits such as lack of empathy, manipulativeness, and a tendency to violate social norms without remorse. Characteristics that would later define his behavior as a serial killer.
He was actually diagnosed with antisocial?
He was diagnosed.
Okay.
He was brought in because he went AWOL.
Yep.
And the military diagnosed him with antisocial disorder. The Army discharged Alcala on medical grounds due to his mental health issues. The breakdown and subsequent discharge marked a turning point, as it was his first formal encounter with the mental health system. However, the brief intervention he received in the Army was insufficient, and he was left to re-enter civilian life without adequate psychological support.
Oh.
But I think this guy is truly, truly a psychopath. Like, truly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like psychotic. Like, truly.
So, actually, interesting fact here, because you know me with my psychology, people that I listen to. There is no actual diagnosis of psychopathy, but what they consider when they do call someone a psychopath is someone who's antisocial personality disorder.
There you go.
That is the actual diagnosis of it.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. That's very interesting to know. So after his discharge, Alcala returned to Los Angeles, enrolled in UCLA's School of Fine Arts. Interesting, like, that's a pretty prominent school, you know. There he studied photography, a field in which he showed both talent and interest. His choice to study art and photography may have been an attempt to express himself creatively. Thank you. What's wrong with you? You know when you psych, you're like, creative.
I do it.
Say it.
Creatively.
What the fuck?
Creatively. You get it. You get what we mean,
I don't know why I can't get that word out.
We'll just blame the election
creatively.
again.
Nope, never mind. I'm done. But it also became a vehicle for manipulation.
Yep.
Alcala would later use his photography skills to lure his victims by offering free photo shoots, taking advantage of his fine arts education to appear legitimate and trustworthy. So when I go through this, it's going to be a little bit of bouncing around here for a minute. So Alcala's interest in photography became a central aspect of his identity in the late 1960s and early 70s. He was known to carry a camera literally wherever he went. He styled himself as a professional photographer, an image that allowed him to approach young women and children under the guise of artistic intention. This interest in art and photography would serve as both his cover and his weapon, helping him win the trust of victims who believed he was just a harmless artist. After graduating from UCLA, Alcala moved to New York City, and enrolled at the New York University School of Film, where he studied under the famed director Roman Polanski, who is not a good person either. Polanski's work in filmmaking, especially his focus on the psychological and the unsettling, may have resonated with Alcala's dark inclinations. Although there's no evidence to suggest that Polanski had any personal influence on Alcala's criminal behavior, their shared interest in the arts may have given Alcala the sense that he could pursue disturbing interests in ways that appear socially acceptable. Alcala's time at NYU allowed him to further develop his identity as an artist, and his studies in film gave him an understanding of how to manipulate perception. He later applied these skills to his predatory tactics, using photography again as a lure to get what he needs to be done. Now,
once again, who is that like? Sounds just like Bundy.
Yeah, I know.
They're very smart people.
They are.
And it's kind of creepy.
so this is where I kind of jump around, right? By the late 1960s, so that's kind of what Alcala did with his life. You know, he went to some pretty influential schools.
Yes, yeah.
UCLA, NYU. I mean,
Those
lots of people went in those places.
Yes.
You know, I don't know how it was in that time, but to me, it seems like he was putting himself, which his IQ probably might have helped him with that, and he felt very, very like he really liked himself.
Well, and also he's very good at persuasion and manipulating people. He sounds like he's a smooth talker, probably knows who to get in with.
Yep. But I want to jump around because I'm going to start getting into his victims. So we now understand his really kind of who he was.
Yeah.
So there is not any defining factor to me. Yes, abandonment, awful. All that's awful. But hearing his story, I think this was, again, antisocial disorder.
It was nature.
Yes. So by the late 1960s, Alcala's life was a mix of apparent success and hidden turmoil. His intelligence, creativity, and knowledge of the fine arts gave him a veneer of respectability. But his mental health issues and inability to form healthy relationships continue to drive him towards his darker impulses. I'm not going to go into it because I know you're covering a few of these, but in 1968, he committed his first known crime, which you can cover because I know you're going to cover her. So just say that's the first one, right? That led into others. That marked the beginning of a pattern for Alcala. He became a fugitive, fleeing Los Angeles and enrolling in NYU's film school under the alias John Berger. So now we're back to NYU, right? He spent years moving between coasts, changing his name and leaving chaos in his wake. He would work various jobs using his photography skill to portray himself as a harmless artist. His charming personality and gift for conversation allowed him to blend into society even as he descended further into killing. By 1971, Alcala, as we know, was living in New York City, a place bustling with energy, a place where one could easily slip into anonymity. Fuck. Thank you. Here under his John Berger alias, or Berger, I don't know which one, he would commit his first known murder. His victim was Cornelia Michael, was what she was called. Crilly, a 23-year-old TWA flight attendant. I love that her nickname was Michael.
I know, that's cute.
It's really cute. Cornelia was known for her adventurous spirit, and her friends adored her for her humor and warmth. It's unclear how she crossed paths with Alcala, but one day in June 1971, her life came to a violent end. Cornelia's body was discovered in her Manhattan apartment. She had been strangled and beaten. Her murder baffled detectives as there was no suspects, no clues, and no leads. Her case would go cold for decades, only to be solved years later when Alcala's DNA was finally matched to the crime. I know they found that they believed, like in that movie, that he was helping her move in, that she just needed help.
Oh, so that was... Okay.
So he didn't have any connection to her, that he was literally just came by.
It was just the unfortunate path.
After Michael's, I'm going to call her Michael because she was her nickname, murder, Alcala seemed emboldened. He continued to move freely between New York and California, leaving a trail. As we said, he was just killing. Yeah. He would offer young women a chance to have their portraits taken, a seemingly innocent invitation. And then he would entice women and girls to trust him, to see him as harmless. But behind the camera, Alcala was growing more sadistic. He didn't just kill his victims. He tortured them, often strangling them until they lost consciousness, only to revive them and prolong their suffering. He would... Trigger warning, guys. So almost all of his victims, and they know this because you're going to cover something in there, but he would strangle them, revive them, rape them while they were revived. Strangle them again, and go over and over. And this this literally could go on all night.
Oh my God.
And he would just choke them and then bring them back and rape them, and it continued.
I hate this guy.
I know for a fact that some of his victims was known to have gone on literally all night long.
God.
With it. Yeah. In July 1977, Jane Hover disappeared in New York after arranging to meet a photographer named John Berger. Ellen, 23, was a daughter of a nightclub owner and the goddaughter of Dean Martin, which was he was a movie star. Her friends and family launched a desperate search for her, and her disappearance became front page news. But it was only a year later that her remains were discovered in Westchester County, hidden in the woods. Alcala's alias John Berger was found in her calendar, yet at the time, no one knew the full extent of his crimes. After killing Ellen, Alcala returned to California, where he struck again. In November 1977, Jill Barcombe, a vivacious, and if I say any of the names of yours, tell me stop. So, a vivacious 18-year-old who had recently moved from New York to Los Angeles. She was found murdered in the Hollywood Hills, her body showing signs of severe torture. She had been raped, strangled, and beaten. Her body posed in a way that only served to highlight Alcala's sadistic tendencies. So he posed her, and I guarantee as we know, he took pictures.
Oh, for sure.
All his victims. He took pictures. The next month in December 1977, when I was born, December 1977,
oh my gosh.
Georgia Wixt, a 27-year-old nurse, was attacked in her Malibu apartment. Alcala broke in, so she didn't know him.
Wow.
Brutalizing her in her own home, he raped, strangled, and beat her, leaving her body posed in position before fleeing. Her murder devastated her family and left detectives scrambling for answers as the violence continued. In June 1978, I just want you to think about, like, honestly, how close some of these are. Charlotte Lamb was found murdered in the laundry room of her El Segundo apartment complex. Charlotte, 32, was another young woman with a bright future and promising life ahead of her. She had been strangled and posed post-mortem. Just as Alcala had done with his previous victims, each murder carried his signature, but police struggled to find a suspect as Alcala continued to evade capture. Then came June 14, 1979, when 21-year-old college student Jill Parento was killed in Burbank. Alcala broke into her apartment and lay in wait, attacking her when she returned. Like his other victims, she was brutally assaulted, strangled, and left in a staged position. But even as Jill's family mourned, Alcala was already looking for his next target. Just 6 days later, on June 20th, 1979, he found one in Robin Samso, a 12-year-old girl, enjoying a summer day in Huntington Beach.
I cover her.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's one of the survivors. Oh wait, no.
She's not.
This is one.
I was
of the
like, no, she's not.
No, this is one of the ones after he was out on bail.
Oh, so you cover that one too?
Yes, I got the two that he murdered after bail.
Okay.
And then the rest are all survivors that I cover.
Okay, got you. So we covered Michael. We covered Ellen. Jill. Did I cover Jill Barcombe?
Yes.
Okay, I covered her. Georgia Wixt. I got her, and then it goes into Charlotte Lamb and Jill. Okay. So I think you're going to cover the other ones, and then I can finish up when you're done, because I have a little ending part for him. So
cool. All right. So here I am. Okay. As we all know from, I'm sure most of you have seen Woman of the Hour, Cheryl Bradshaw, who was an aspiring actress and drama teacher from Phoenix, found herself in the spotlight as a bachelorette on The Dating Game on September 13th of 1978. Rodney Alcala was introduced as Bachelor Number 1. He presented himself as a charming and successful photographer who enjoyed skydiving and motorcycles. His demeanor on the show was confident yet flirtatious, perfectly fitting a playful atmosphere of the game show. When Cheryl asked him... Oh, what happened? Okay. When Cheryl asked the bachelors, "I'm serving you for dinner. What are you called and what do I look like?" Alcala's response was suggestive and memorable. He answered, "I'm called the banana and I look good," before adding, "Peel me." This barfa.
Gross. I would have been like, bleh.
No. This flirtatious banter continued, with Alcala responding to another question about his best time, saying, "Nighttime is when it gets really good." And I'm like, you know what the fuck he's thinking as he says that shit.
The fact
so
that
chilling.
He waited in people's apartments too, like nighttime in their apartments.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Cheryl, who was likely drawn in by Alcala's charm and wit, chose him as her date. And at the end of the show, the pair even shared what appeared to be a warm embrace on camera. However, things quickly changed once the cameras stopped rolling. After meeting Alcala off stage, Cheryl's initial attraction gave way to discomfort.
Good.
Something about him triggered her intuition, luckily, making her feel really uneasy. The next day, she called Ellen Metzger, who was the show's contestant coordinator, to cancel the date.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I know. She really dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Cheryl explained to Metzger, she said, Ellen, I can't go out with this guy. There's weird vibes that are coming off of him. He's very strange. I am not comfortable.
She said that?
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah. This decision, based solely on her gut feeling, saved her life. After this unsettling experience, Cheryl Bradshaw chose to leave California and live a private life, raising a family away from the spotlight. Her brush with danger on the gate... God, you passed on them not being able to talk.
Sorry.
Her brush with danger on the dating game serves as a chilling reminder of the hidden dangers that lurk behind a charismatic facade, which, boy, do we know that.
Yep.
There were a couple...
Sorry.
Yes, for sure.
Like she did.
There were a couple other instances where people involved with the dating game suspected something was off about Rodney Alcala. Michael Metzinger's intuition. Michael Metzinger, who was, like I already said, the executive producer of the game, had reservations about Alcala. He told ABC News for a 2020 episode, this is a quote, I noticed that he had very strange personality, and he was not in favor of having him on the show. Jed Mills' discomfort, who competed as Bachelor number 2 alongside Alcala, quickly felt uneasy about him. Mills stated, and I quote, in the green room, he jumps in and says, I always get my girl. Mills added that he immediately did not like this guy.
Okay, but I have to tell you something. I saw an actual interview with that guy, and he's also creepy.
I kind of think they all probably are. Honestly.
In the way he talked, I was like, oh, like, it's like, you're creepy. But yeah, I mean, the fact that one creep pegged another creep.
Yeah, it's like, well,
right.
Pegged. No, I get it. I know. So backstage behavior, Mills described Alcala as a real creepy guy and recalled him saying, like I said, I always get my girl. This behavior made Mills uncomfortable even before the show began. Then post-show, while Ellen Metzger was not a contestant, she was the contestant coordinator. Noticed a change in Cheryl Bradshaw's demeanor after meeting Alcala face-to-face following the show. Metzinger described Bradshaw's initial excitement turning into pretty lukewarm togetherness after their first in-person encounter. Interesting fact, there were no background checks at the time of 1978 because the technology for background checks didn't exist. And there was no national crime database yet. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God. So you're going on, and you go on a date with, they send you away.
Yeah.
With someone they don't know. What?
And obviously the producers had no way of knowing about Alcala's criminal history. Also, they still didn't even... He can have it. So they didn't do any background checks post this happening either because it didn't exist at this time. It just
didn't exist, but that's crazy. I never even thought about that. I never thought about the fact that even like any of these things, these dating shows, there was nothing. To me,
that's crazy that was not that long ago. It's so new that we have like the technology we have. It's terrifying.
It's really quite new. What the fuck?
That was 1978 and after. Didn't exist.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
Man, some of these were whack.
I tried to find more about Cheryl like after everything, but she's really just kind of gone like completely off. Like you can't. There's not much on her. But there was in 2012. Long after Alcala's arrest and conviction, Bradshaw gave a brief comment to the Sunday Telegraph saying, I started to feel ill. He was acting really creepy. I turned down his offer. I didn't want to see him again. And that is all she has.
Thank freaking God. Like, just thank God.
Yes.
I could imagine, like I said, like when we talked about Bundy and the couple that was on a date while he was killing somebody. Like, it's just, just being there and like so close to someone, like your life is...
It's terrifying.
Literally on the balance.
It's terrifying. So, I think I want to end mine with my last part I have on here, but I want to talk about, there were 2 other survivors other than Cheryl Bradshaw and the teenage runaway. Okay. I want to do the teenage runaway at the end because then it goes into what he did post when he got released on bail, which I can't believe he got released on bail, but
it's so, I didn't know there was 2 other survivors.
I didn't either.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there was 2 other survivors, and their names are Morgan Rowan and Tally Shapiro. So, let's see. Where did I put it? Okay. Rowan, was 16, and this is insane. Shapiro was 8.
I know.
8.
I know. He literally didn't care.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Shapiro. I forgot that she survived.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Go on now. Dude.
Right. So, as we know, in 79, Alcala was arrested for the murder of the 8-year-old Robin Samso, and was convicted in California in 1980 after her slaying. Those are... wait, where
she
am
was
I?
murdered? I thought the 8-year-old survived. I'm so confused now.
That's Robin... Samso died.
He's had 2 8-year-olds.
Yes. God. Yes. Where did I put this? Okay, here we go. So, this is back in the 60s. So, September 25th of 68. Second grader Shapiro was walking to school along Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles from the Chateau Marmont Hotel. Where her...
First of all, I can't believe she was walking along set.
8-year-old.
I cannot believe that. I've lived in California, guys, and I literally can't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Mm-hmm. Where her family was living temporarily when Alcala pulled up and offered her a ride. She initially said no, but when Alcala said that he knew her parents, she agreed. Shapiro's father worked in the music business, and stars like Mama Cass and Jim Morrison and Lenny Bruce frequently visited. And this is a quote from her. She said, "It was totally possible that he knew my parents." So this wasn't out of the norm for her. Shapiro said she got in the car with Alcala, told her he was a professional photographer and wanted to show her a poster at his home. She said, "He drove me to his house, I followed him in, and that's all I remember. There is nothing else to remember after that. He absolutely hit me over the head right after that, and that was it." Alcala raped Shapiro and beat her with a metal bar.
Oh my God.
Police found Shapiro lying on the floor of Alcala's apartment in a pool of blood, naked, with a metal bar laying across her neck.
Oh my God.
She was unconscious but groaning, so they knew she was alive. After the attack, she needed 27 stitches in the back of her head. Shapiro said in a 2010 sentencing hearing for Alcala, "He hit me right over the head and the back of the head." Shapiro was in a coma for 32 days and hospitalized for months, but eventually made a full recovery.
Fuck that guy, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah. Yep.
He's a piece of... oh my God, that makes me so angry.
Freaking no. All right, so now we'll get on to Morgan Rowan. So Morgan Rowan told People magazine that she first met Alcala when she was 13 years old in 1965 in the parking lot of a teen nightclub with her friends. Rowan recalled that he was tall, attractive, and charismatic.
He's not attractive, but whatever. So. Maybe for the 70s, I don't know.
She said he laughed easily and told stories. Young girls loved him. Also, she said, "I never saw that as dangerous, but actually it was." So Alcala kept looking over at her in the group of her friends and smiling. Rowan lightly scratched his arm with her fingernail to get his attention. When he told her to stop, she didn't, and he grabbed her arm and dragged her into an alley behind the club. I think he slammed my head into a wall because I was unconscious, she said. When she woke up, she recalled feeling something on her chest. It was a large industrial dumpster that Alcala had pushed against her. Rowan screamed for help, and the owner of the nightclub and his wife came out to help her get out from behind the dumpster and put ice on her head. After that incident, Rowan said she avoided Alcala for the next 3 years. In August of 1968.
What?
Yeah. In August of 1968, she encountered him again. Rowan and her family were slated to move to New York.
So she's 16 now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Rowan and her family were slated to move to New York, and 4 days before they departed, Rowan and friends went out to have a going-away celebration on the Sunset Strip. Rowan said Alcala was among the crowd of people, and she felt creeped out when she saw him. Rowan sat in the back seat between two girlfriends to go to a local restaurant and was fearful when she saw him get into the driver's seat, but didn't leave.
Sorry.
It's fine. At the restaurant, Rowan went to the bathroom, and when she was about to go back to her table, Alcala came and said they were ready to go back to the strip. The group got into the car, and Alcala made a sudden turn and stopped in front of the house. He gave marijuana to the group, who smoked and listened to loud music in the living room. Alcala then grabbed Rowan by the arm and pulled her into the bedroom and locked the door behind him. Rowan said she knew she was in trouble and kept backing away from him until she was against a wall. He took his belt off and wrapped it around my neck. Wrapped it around his fist. And she said, I tried to be brave and said, no, you can't keep me here. And he just punched me between the eyes as hard as he could. This is what she recalls. Rowan said her head hit the wall and she fell to her knees and saw stars, but was still conscious. Alcala had a knife and cut the tie of her blouse around her neck, nicking her skin. All I could feel was blood start to flow down my chest, she said, and I remember thinking, he cut my neck, I'm going to die.
That's insane, dude. That she went, after that first time, that she still, like, it's so hard when your friends are doing, like, that's just crazy.
I know. Also, you gotta think she's, like, a teenager.
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
You don't have those, like...
But she felt uneasy, and then she still grabbed her. It's like he was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I get to go ahead and take care of this now.
Yeah.
God, dude.
It's crazy. Rowan recalled him shoving his belt in her mouth, blocking her airways so she struggled to breathe, and binding her wrists with a necktie. He punched her in the stomach until she felt her ribs breaking, and he took a knife to cut off the rest of her clothes. He put the knife down, removed his pants, and raped her. What? His face was red and swollen. His eyes were glassy. He was unable to get up or move. He was out of control like an animal. I wanted it to be over. I wasn't praying to live. I was praying to die.
Oh my God.
Rowan's friends noticed she and Alcala were missing from the living room and began pounding on the bedroom door. When no one could get it open.
Can I just stop for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to just put that out there to listeners. Like, you know, I know women usually get it, but just think about that. Think about the fact that that's rape, right? Like, she was wishing to die.
Yeah.
Like, that is so pivotal, I think, to really understand.
Speaks volumes, honestly.
To understand what rape does.
Yes.
You know, I know she was being punched and everything, but she wasn't wishing to live.
And I'm sure it's different for everybody, but from what I have heard people say is it doesn't, well, hopefully it doesn't physically kill you, but mentally.
It does.
It does.
It does.
There's a part of you that is not there anymore.
Yeah,
after
absolutely.
that happens.
I remember, just really quickly, you know, I had some really effed up things happen to me when I was a kid, and I remember telling my mom told me, I went to her and I said, why do they call rape when they should call it murder?
It is. That's 100% what it is.
It is 100%. But I just think it's very pivotal to hear that she said I wasn't praying to live.
Yeah.
So anyways, continue on.
Sad.
Yeah.
But when her friends couldn't get the door open, Rowan's friend Mike broke into the bedroom through a window, at which that point Alcala stood up with blood all over his shirt and said, "Take her.
Dude, call the cops."
Yeah. She said, if my friend Mike hadn't broken through the window, I would not be here today. I have no doubt he was going to kill me.
Okay, where's the cops?
Yep. She ran out of the house.
Where's her friends? Calling the cops.
She ran out of his house wearing only a ripped blouse, running in front of a moving car with a man and woman inside. Her friends joined her, and a couple drove them away. Her friend Mike took her to his apartment by the beach, where his neighbor, a nurse, provided first aid, and Mike took care of her for the next few days.
What?
She arrived back at her parents' home minutes before they drove back to New York. She was traumatized and slept next to her parents' bed after moving, but never told them what happened.
God, dude.
After Rowan moved back to New York City, a friend mailed her a newspaper clipping about Alcala's rape and attempted murder of Shapiro, and Rowan said she was ravaged by guilt, blaming herself for Shapiro's trauma because she had never reported Alcala. She said, "I should have stopped it. I should have told my parents. I should have gone back to the house and killed him myself. I fully felt that it was my fault, that I should have done something."
She was just 16.
Yeah, she didn't know. Yeah.
I just want to know why the nurse didn't call the police. Why?
I know.
I don't expect her to.
No, of course not.
I don't. She just went through this horrific thing,
Yeah.
and they were smoking marijuana, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that, of course that wasn't a legal thing back then, and I get it, because I didn't tell my parents, because
Right.
he threatened
Most
to kill me,
people are not
but
gonna...
it's like, it's so sad. I feel so sad that she blames herself.
I know.
Because, how could she have at 16?
I mean, I can even understand, obviously you don't think she's going to call the cops. You would think the friends would, but I still, when you think of teenagers,
The
you're saying,
nurse is where I come in.
Yes, that's what I'm like, lady.
Yeah. She tended to her wounds, but did not call the all I can think is
it
it has to
possible
do
they didn't say what happened? Of course, but still, as an adult, and you see a child with these kinds of wounds, I feel like it's time to call the cops.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, that's some crazy ass wounds. I mean, they could have told a big story, I guess, but I don't know, dude. I have a feeling in my head that it has to do with the drugs. It's just what I think. I think that they are really scared
more than likely.
and
Got paranoid.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Poor girl.
I know. So now where am I? Here are my notes. Okay. So now we'll move on to the girl who got his ass convicted.
Yeah.
Arrested. All the good things. Monique Hoyt, who is a 15-year-old runaway who met Alcala on February 14th of 1979. Alcala lured Hoyt by posing as a model scout, showing her photos of other girls he claimed to have discovered. Despite her young age, Hoyt demonstrated some caution, questioning Alcala carefully before entering his car. As they drove to a remote desert location, Hoyt began to sense danger. She noticed Alcala's attempts to lower her defenses by asking personal questions about her family. While posing for photos with her back to him against the sunset, Alcala violently attacked her. Hoyt woke up the next morning bruised with her pants around her ankles, realizing she was in grave danger. She cleverly convinced Alcala that she had enjoyed the encounter and wanted to continue their relationship. This quick thinking likely saved her life, as Alcala refrained from killing her, unlike his other victims. When Alcala stopped at a gas station to use the restroom, Hoyt seized the opportunity to escape. She fled to a nearby diner and alerted authorities. Her escape and subsequent report to the police led to Alcala's arrest, though he was initially released on bail, posted by his mother.
God damn it.
And unfortunately, once released, he would kill 2 more times before his final arrest in 1979 of Jill Parenteau in Burbank and Robin Samso in Huntington Beach. So Jill Parenteau was a 21-year-old computer key punch operator living in Burbank. She was killed in June of 1979, just days before Robin Samosa's abduction. Parenteau left for work early to go to a baseball game. When she didn't show up for work the next day, police went to investigate her apartment. Police found signs of forced entry in her Burbank apartment, and she was found dead, naked on her bathroom floor. She was posed with pillows under her shoulders. She'd been sexually assaulted, beaten, and strangled. Her killer had cut himself while crawling through a window. Blood evidence matching that 3% of the population did not rule out or confirm Rodney Alcala as the perpetrator. Parenteau's friend, Catherine Bryant, testified that she and Parenteau had met Alcala at a club several times. Alcala was eventually convicted of Parento's murder along with 4 other victims. During sentencing, Parento's sister, Dee Dee, spoke in court, saying, "I will never understand why my sister had to die that way." And lastly, on June 20th of 1979, 12-year-old Robin Somoza left her friend Bridget Wilvert's apartment in Huntington Beach around 3:10 p.m. to bicycle to a ballet lesson. Earlier that afternoon, Robin and Bridget had been sitting on the cliffs above the beach when they were approached by a man, later identified as Rodney, who asked to take their photographs for a supposed school contest. After posing for photos, Robin borrowed Bridget's bicycle to get to her ballet lessons on time. She was expected at the dance studio by 4 p.m. Robin never arrived for her ballet lessons and was never seen again by her family or friends. Prosecutors allege that Alcala abducted Robin on her way to ballet class. 5 days later, on June 25th, Robin's mutilated body was discovered in by a Forest Service employee in a remote mountain ravine above Sierra Madre. Over 40 miles away from Huntington Beach, Robin's remains were officially found and reported to police on July 2nd of 1979. Her body was severely decomposed after 12 days in the wilderness. The autopsy revealed that Robin had been beaten, raped, and stabbed. Her head was separated from her body. Both hands were missing, and her front teeth were cracked. Rodney Alcala was arrested on July 24th of 1979 for the kidnapping and murder of Robin Samso. Hoyt's testimony played a crucial role in Alcala's conviction. In 2010, Alcala's trial for multiple murders, Hoyt testified against him, and according to the prosecutor, she showed up and she put the nail in Rodney's coffin.
Good.
Yep.
Good. And just to come in, is that it for you?
Yes.
Just to come in that during that search, so with Robin Samso, during that search, they found in his home a collection of photos of young women and girls, some of whom were later identified as missing or murdered. Additionally, a small bag of earrings belonging to Robin was found in a storage locker. So he had a small bag of earrings, and then there were some in there that belonged to Robin in a locker Alcala had rented in Seattle. Prosecutors argued that the jewelry was a twisted keepsake, proof that Alcala had taken trophies from his victims. Alcala was convicted and sentenced to death, but his story was far from over.
Oh my God.
In 1984, Alcala's conviction was overturned by the California Supreme Court. His attorneys argued that the jury had been improperly informed of his prior criminal history, which they claimed biased the jury against him. This legal technicality led to a retrial, and in 1986, Alcala was convicted once again and sentenced to death. However, his legal team appealed once more, and in 2001, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals overturned the conviction a second time, citing procedural errors and ineffective assistance of counsel. By this point, technology had advanced significantly since Alcala's first trial. DNA evidence had become a reliable method in criminal investigation, and investigators now had the tools to re-examine cold cases. In 2003, with Alcala waiting his third trial for the murder of Robin Samso, police tested DNA samples from several unsolved murders and found chilling connections. Alcala's DNA matched evidence from 4 other cold cases in California.
Wow.
The murders of Jill Barcombe, Georgia Wixt, Charlotte Lamb, and Jill Parento. Each victim had been found brutally assaulted, as we know. These new connections painted a horrific picture of Alcala's murderous spree, linking him to crimes that remained unsolved for decades. I also want to put in there, they actually thought that these previous victims were of the Hillside Strangler. Like they thought he was part of the strangler that was going on.
I have never heard of him.
There was 3 different serial killers going on at the same time that Alcala was killing. All at the same time. Yeah. Which is just the 70s, man.
Yep.
Alcala's third trial, which began in 2010.
Wow.
Was unlike any before. Now facing charges for 5 murders, the prosecution presented DNA evidence, photographic evidence, and witnesses from his previous trials. But Alcala, known for his manipulative and controlling nature, decided to represent himself.
Oh my God. It's literally like a copy and paste of Bundy.
Acting as his own attorney, he questioned witnesses, including the mother of Robin Samso.
Oh my God.
In a chilling display of arrogance and detachment. During his closing argument, Alcala played a bizarre, rambling recording of Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie, a choice that left the courtroom stunned. Like it was a...
Is that a song?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, he would get on the stand, he would question himself in one voice, sit on the stand and answer in his own voice. He questioned himself.
What?
And he would do it in different voices.
Is there like a video of this? Do you know? Probably. Oh no, I think Bundy's was the first, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was.
I didn't find it, but yeah.
No, this was in 2010.
Yeah, this is 2010. But maybe there is a video. I didn't look, but they said that he would question himself in a different voice and then sit on the thing and then answer in his voice.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
A sick individual.
After years of heartbreak, 3 trials, and countless appeals, Alcala was found guilty of 5 counts of first-degree murder. The jury unanimously recommended the death penalty, and he was sentenced to death for the 3rd time. But Alcala's story didn't end there.
Jesus Christ.
As investigators continued to delve into his past, they uncovered evidence connecting him to even more unsolved cases. Alcala's collection of photographs became a haunting clue, with police releasing hundreds of photos to the public in hopes of identifying other potential victims. Wow. In 2012, Alcala was extradited to New York, where he pled guilty to the 1970 murders of Cornelia and Ellen Hover, 2 young women who had disappeared, as we know. Mm-hmm. These convictions, along with his convictions in California, solidified his legacy as one of America's most prolific serial killers. And then for the families of his victims, Alcala's trials had been exhausting, traumatic ordeal, stretched over decades as they fought to see justice for their loved ones. Today, are you ready for this?
Oh
Today, God. Alcala remains on death row in California.
He's still alive?
Yep. Though his health has deteriorated with age, it remains unclear if he'll ever face execution. His trials and convictions revealed not only his own chilling crimes, but also exposed gaps in the criminal justice system that allowed him to evade capture for so long. Let him go on bail to kill 2 more. Alcala's story stands as a stark reminder of that evil that can hide behind charm and a smile, and the long, difficult road to justice for victims and their families. And they still haven't got it because he is still on death row and he's still alive. And he also, by the way, everybody, loves to recount his murders to anybody. The guards have said that he loves to tell them about his murders. He loves to say it over and over because he's now said it. And he also has basically said that he's killed over 130 women.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it said that it was like over 90.
Yeah, and he says, you'll never find them. But the women in my pictures, I've killed all of them.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and he likes to taunt the guards and tell them
what the fuck,
what
dude?
He's killed and how he's killed and how many he's killed, and he replays it over and over and over. And yet he is still sitting on death row and not killed yet.
Oh, my
California,
God.
Get the fuck together.
Yeah,
Sorry,
seriously.
I love you. I live there, but get the fuck together and kill this bastard. Like, give these people
some peace.
For what this monster did.
Holy shit, dude. What the fuck?
So Rodney Alcala is a true monster. Like, true, heinous, disgusting monster. He is right there with Ted Bundy.
Oh yeah.
But like, for me, it's even worse because I don't even think Ted Bundy got to kill that many.
I don't think he did. Many. Yeah, and I don't think he was. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall him reviving his victims to do it all over again.
Over and over and over.
Yeah, damn.
Some lasting all night. And I think it was the Yeah, it was the girl that the one that like she woke up in the morning.
Right. Monique Hoyt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It would have continued.
Disgusting. I hate him. I pretty much hate him. I know I hate him.
Yeah.
I really loathe him. Like,
I can't believe he's still in jail. Like, just alive.
Yeah. I can't believe either. When I was reading, I was like, what the fuck?
He looks so creepy.
He's so gross.
Like, so
But
creepy.
the fact that he gets to sit on death row and recount his murders, like, your guys are giving him that? That's what serial killers want to do. They want to relive it over and over. You're just letting him sit there.
Yeah.
And relive
giving him
it.
what he wants, pretty much.
Yeah.
Does California? I thought they like got rid of death row.
They did.
They need to bring that shit back.
That's why I'm saying, get your shit together.
Like, come on, come on now. Well, we got some solid ass proof that they did some fuck shit.
Or fuck shit is right.
Yeah.
Or I would say just let the survivors that let the people let them in the room with them.
Oh, 100%.
Let them in the room with them.
Yep.
Just turn yourself away and let them in the room with them.
Just let them have some visitor time.
Yeah. Yeah, wasn't it? I think it was one of the ladies. I think it was the mom to Robin Samso.
Yes.
She was going to shoot him.
I would.
She was, and then something stopped her, and I forget what it was, and she was like, because I was watching videos on them or something, but she brought a thing to court. She was going to shoot him.
Wow.
Yeah. And something stopped her.
Wow.
I can't remember. I think it was her daughter's voice. Something stopped her.
Yeah. I mean, as easy as it is to say, like, it'd be for the best. I do think it is always better to take the high road, as hard as it is. But wow.
Yeah.
That'd be hard.
This one was just this.
Oh my God. What a freak, dude.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. And he just had so much fun representing himself, and I just think that's disgusting.
The fact that he was like talking in two different voices is...
And playing a weird ass song.
What
I'm gonna have to look that
dude?
song
Yeah,
up, because I need to know what the lyrics say. So let me find
look
it
at the
again.
lyrics. But also, like, I just find there's so many crossovers between him and Bundy. It's unreal. And the arrogance, the charisma, the like...
What? When was Bundy? I can't remember again.
Oh my God, hold on. Let me look that up because I cannot remember. When
you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in. It's around the back, just half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Now, it all started 2 Thanksgiving ago. Was 2 years ago on Thanksgiving when my friend and I went up to visit Alice at the restaurant. But Alice didn't live in the restaurant. She lives in the church nearby the restaurant, in the bell tower with her husband Ray and Fasha the dog. And living in the bell tower like that, they got a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be, having all that room. Seeing as how they took out all the pews, they decided that they didn't have to take out their garbage for a long time. We got up there, we found all the garbage in there, and we decided it'd be a friendly gesture for us to take the garbage down to the city dump. So we took half a ton of garbage, put it in the back of a red VW microbus, took shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, and headed on toward the city dump. Well, we got there, and there was a big sign and a chain across the dump saying close on Thanksgiving, and we never had heard of a dump close on Thanksgiving before. With tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset looking for another place to put the garbage.
What on earth, dude?
We didn't find one until we came to a side road, and off the side road of the side road there was another 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff there was another pile of garbage. And we decided that one big pile is better than 2 little piles, and rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down. That's what we did. We drove back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep, and didn't get up until the next morning when we got a phone call from Oscar Obi, who said, "Kid, we found your name on the envelope at the bottom of a half ton of garbage and just wanted you to know if you had any information about it." "Yes, sir, Officer Obi, I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope under the garbage."
What on earth?
What is this song?
And did they let him play this song?
Yes.
They didn't stop him?
And this is it, by Arlo Guthrie. That almost sounds like getting rid of the bodies.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
what I'm thinking. He must have like listened to it and his like.
And after speaking to Orby for about 45 minutes on the telephone, we finally arrived at the truth of the matter, and he said that he had to go down and pick up the garbage and also had to go down and speak to him. Oh, I had to go down and pick up the garbage and speak to him at the police officer station. So we got in the VW bus with the shovels and the rakes and implements of destruction and headed on towards the police station, officer station.
I would be like, is this you admitting to murder, sir? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Also, Ted Bundy, his known murders primarily happened between 1974 and 1978. And he was arrested for his final time because, as we know, he did escape before. He was arrested for his last and final time, February 15th of 1978, and was put to death in 1989. Why do I feel like his murders happened over way more big of a span of time? But it was 4 years.
Yeah.
For his known murders. Who knows what happened previously, but interesting. I just thought it was... But he was quick, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, they were like...
Well, it seems like Alcala started like escalating.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, first it was luring women, then he was hiding in women's apartments, and then he literally gets on bail and he can't even keep himself from killing again.
Yeah.
Like, he's just insane.
And that's like him. He gets out of jail, he escapes, and then he was reckless as hell. He was stealing cars.
Yeah,
he was driving recklessly.
He was being reckless.
Like, weird.
I don't know. But this
Very
was disturbing, and I hate the fact that Alcala is still alive.
I wonder if, because Alcala really was starting before Bundy.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Bundy got any
When
of his...
did he actually start? You know, I know he says his first murder was the little girl that got away, but like, and that was in 1968.
Yeah.
But when really?
Yeah.
When really?
Yeah.
How many women? Because I just feel like this is not something that you can see by his childhood. He was just already deranged.
Yep.
So
That's,
I don't know.
It's yeah.
To kill 130 women?
But I also wonder if Bundy took inspiration
Maybe.
from these
I
murders.
mean, he was trialed in 1979, right? And then in 1984.
But like they were going on, so you know he had to hear about all the uproar, and he was in a similar area.
Strangulation, didn't he? Strangulation. God, why can I not talk? Strangulation. Did he strangle? Did Bundy?
I believe, yeah. There was multiple. He did multiple
Bundy.
different. Yeah, I know. He had some different
Fuck
methods.
you, Bundy.
Exactly. He had some different methods, but he did
I thought
strangle.
but it was a lot of strangling.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Crazy.
God.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Oh, weird.
Hated it.
You know what? This leads me to another. This will be quick, but I don't know. This is going to sound not the best because I know not everybody with antisocial personality disorder is going to be a serial killer, but I mean, it's kind of like a common theme of, at the very least, doing very illegal shit.
Yep.
So, you know, it's just too bad that there's nothing that can be done, or like some kind of like monitor that can be put on people that are...
Or lobotomy.
Something's gotta be, you know? It's just too bad.
I know.
But then we're gonna start going into, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna just go on a rant. I'm gonna stop myself from a rant right now. I know you can't just because someone's diagnosed with something, you can't put them away. Yeah, obviously. You know what I mean?
I gotta refrain from saying things.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to stop myself, and, you know, because not everybody is gonna be that way. But
yeah,
man, it's the overlap with the two of those bozos.
Yeah,
is crazy to me.
And the fact that they had the strangler going on, the hillside strangler. No, maybe it was the hillside strangler. No, it was what was his name? He was sitting. I can't.
The Stratton Strangler. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Man, when was the Golden State Killer?
That's it.
The Golden
State Killer.
Okay.
During that
That's
same
what I was
time.
going to say.
And then there was another killer.
Yes.
During that same time as he was killing.
Yeah. That area had a lot. I mean, the West Coast I mean, like, I know Rodney went over to the east.
In the same area. I guess, like, there was something with the Golden State Killer, another killer, all killed in the exact same area. And they found bodies, like, it was just insane. Like, it was insane.
I think they, like, ran into each other in the middle of the night, like...
Oh, sorry. So sorry.
Oh, I'm going to put mine over here.
Don't kill me.
Well, we're going to have to do the Golden State.
We do.
That man...
Oh, man.
Ooh, he irritates me to another level.
He irritates me.
To another level.
This guy, Rodney, creeped me the fuck out.
Oh, he's real creepy.
But Golden State, fuck you. I fuck all of them, dude. But seriously, like, there is just some...
Man, the 70s.
Like, my question is, though... If it wasn't for DNA, would we still have this going on?
100%.
Exactly. I think they get caught quicker because of DNA.
Freaking 100%.
Because you can't tell me that this disorder just went away, like, in people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just think it has to do with technology.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot more people out here that have these urges or these desires than we can even imagine. And they probably just don't act on them, but
they know they're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
And they do get caught. Like, I think that they might murder and then they get caught. Like, boom, or a few and then they're caught. It never goes on like this because they have the technology, and it's really, really difficult to not leave DNA. Right. It really is. Right. Especially when you're... Like, you can see them escalating.
Yeah. Well, I do wonder, though, like, if there are, like, obviously we know they gravitate towards positions of power. And, like, obviously the best place to hide would be in law enforcement. Or you know their tactics. You know what they're looking for. You know, like, if anybody's going to know how to get away with shit, it's going to be them or a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, so it's really... And what's terrifying, especially about... people who are like this, and since I guess I can say it, since Alcala was actually diagnosed with antisocial personality, they're not dumb people. They're very calculated. They know what they're doing. They take their time, and so they would position themselves in those places where they are cops, and they're smart and they are charismatic, and you know what I mean. It's really freaking terrifying. Obviously, I'm not saying that all law enforcement is that way, but I think that is a place where they would hide.
That,
for sure.
Yeah, I think absolutely. And I think that if you ever want to listen to a podcast called Small Town Dicks, I love that podcast. They have they were twins, but they were detectives, and they actually talk about a lot of corrupt cops.
No way.
Yeah, they really do. And there's some that are just, like, your mouth drops open. You're just disgusting. Like, oh my God. And I think it's really awesome because they themselves have been in law enforcement, but they're like, hey, I want these people called to the carpet. Like, this is what should happen. Like, they're actually really good guys. But, like, when you hear the stories, you're just like, motherfucker. Like, because it's helpless. You're helpless.
Well, you know what else is really kind of insane to me is because that line of work is not for the weak of heart.
No.
It's not an easy job.
No.
It's time consuming.
Yes.
You are not sleeping and you are severely underpaid.
And you're seeing some shit.
So you got to think who the fuck is really in there.
Yeah.
You have to, like, obviously there are those people, like,
it's going to be two different kinds. It's going to be two different kinds.
There's going to be the people who are in it because they are passionate about it. They want justice. To
better. Yes. To better.
And then you got the fucks that just want to get away with shit.
Power. Yep. Power. And get away with shit.
Really scary.
Yeah. I definitely recommend there's this one, and I'll have to tell in the next one what it's called, but it's about a cop who literally terrorizes all the prostitutes in the town. And continually, and like does a lot of really fucked up shit, but they do it. And it was one prostitute that came forward. I don't know. It's crazy. When you hear it, you're just like, son of a bitch. Like, that's how you feel. You're just like, holy shit. But anyways, I won't go on and on about that. Listen to Small Town Dicks. Great podcast. Yeah. Excellent. It's, what's her name? I can't think of her name all of a sudden. I don't know. But she's the voice of Lisa from Simpsons. She does it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've never listened to the podcast.
I know her name all the time, but my brain, when I have to think of something, it's like...
Once we stop recording, I'll remember.
Then I'll remember it. So go listen. Yeah. Really good. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Pissed me off, but... Yeah, I don't know what we'll do next, but I
will just keep you guys guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Golden State.
You would cover that.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I think that requires quite a bit of...
A lot. That's a very long standing.
So more than likely...
In fact, the guy that is the guy who caught him with the DNA is on Small Town Dicks.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So we'll have to... That's not going to be next week's because I'm going to need a lot of time to prepare for that one. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll keep you guys guessing. Well, thank you so much for listening. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.